Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report, #Feedback Friday. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero, and on this broadcast, we go over some of your comments and questions from our prior week's broadcasts. And an active week it's been, David Hero.
Oh, good God almighty, it's been active.
Including the final impact on the road to lockdown last night, Big Raw this past Monday night, a live edition of WWE Main Event this past Tuesday night for the first time ever. But we'll talk about all that on Primetime tomorrow, where again our guest is going to be Al Snow. So we go in depth with Al Snow looking at lockdown. It's going to be an interesting perspective from him due to his role in TNA, where he may indeed be the person planning some of the matches we're going to talk about.
Well, he's one of the agents, and he does have some creative input as far as finishes. So I can't wait to hear what Uncle Al has to say.
Well, let's get to the comments. He's coming to us via Twitter at PWR Show with the hashtag PWRTV, and also on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/MaxSports. First one comes from a user whose name I think we've heard before, because you can't forget this one, Sextasy89. Good thing this is an online show. And this in reference to last Saturday's Primetime says, WWE needs to bring back past superstars to help these current guys progress. Without that, then these current stars will never get over, especially without them being smaller than the small guys in the past, like HBK and Bret Hart. So I think the point there being made is that you do need the Hogans, the Rocks, the Undertakers, the Jerichos, the Batistas of the world to get the other talents over.
Well, I mean, that's what baseball and football and hockey and basketball do. They always
Griffey's coming back?
They always bring back the legends. They always bring back the icons, you know. They retire jerseys, numbers, whatever, special attractions.
But they're just throwing out the first pitch.
Right, or they get their jersey retired, or they can become on a Hall of Fame ring and, you know, whatnot. It's important.
Did they ever find those jerseys that went missing during the Royal Rumble in Pittsburgh at the Consol Energy Center? In other words, did they arrest Justin Lombard yet?
Oh, he's been arrested a couple times. But stuff never sticks to that kid for some reason.
Who bails him out, Josh or Brian?
I think Brian does.
Probably Josh.
Okay. You just asked me. I told you, but
well, your source was wrong. Dave. Let's go to our next comment.
My source lied to me.
This comes from a user by the name of LinkLex7. This on last Friday's Feedback Friday. And says as follows. David, as it relates to the Bautista-Orton match at Mania, that's how it's written, do you think that it might be best if they put the match on earlier in the show? Like Meathead said on the PWR radio show, which, by the way, you can listen to Wednesday nights live on Blog Talk Radio and PWRshow.com, just get it out of the way like a Band-Aid, because there's no way the fans won't hijack that match and boo the hell out of it. Better they hijack it early in the show and then cheering when the final match of Bryan Triple H or Taker Lesnar closes out the show.
Well, there's no question that will not be the main event of the show. It won't be. You know, it'll either be Daniel Bryan and Triple H, or it's going to be Taker versus Brock Lesnar. It's not going to be, you know...
Yes!
See, the thing is, what you don't understand is even though Batista, or Bootista, as you call him, is in the main event for the championship, with the exception of John Cena versus The Rock last year, the WWE Championship really hasn't main evented WrestleMania.
Thank you for that comment. Next comes from a user by the name of Dave Langer, who says, this in relation to last Saturday, or 2 weeks ago, Primetime actually, we're going deep into the archives here, says, and I quote, "Stop overrating Reigns. He doesn't have the skill or the talent. He can't even talk on the mic, and he blows up after 5 minutes in the ring. He has 2 moves of doom. Reigns is still green as hell."
Well, I don't agree or disagree completely with that, but I think Roman Reigns is a far better tag team wrestler right now than a single star.
You're on that boat. You're on that wagon. You're riding that train.
I've been
on
saying
the bus.
that for a while.
Really?
I like Roman Reigns.
Because you haven't seen his singles work.
I have.
Because you refuse to watch NXT.
No, I have. He's had some singles matches on Raw and on SmackDown.
Okay, 2, maybe 3.
He's not ready yet. He's not. Listen, being in not many guys transition well from tag teams to singles. Only one of them does.
What's the substantial difference between the two aside from the obvious? As far as you being an in-ring performer, what is different?
Because tag team wrestling is far different than being a singles wrestler. It's a completely different makeup of a match.
So do you think Roman Reigns is green and he's over?
No. He's not green. He is very talented.
He's Samoan.
Yeah, so he's beige, but he'll get there in time. But just not right now.
He's there now.
Well, for you. You like guys with long hair like that. So.
I have endorsed Roman Reigns.
Yes, you have.
And when I endorse you, you turn to gold.
Sure, and I like Roman Reigns.
Doesn't sound like it.
Of all three of the Shield, he has the most star potential, hands down.
This next comment comes from Mark Carter on the YouTubes. This in relation to last Saturday's primetime. That's when it airs. When it comes to CM Punk,
Oh boy.
Damian Nelson is an idiot.
Idiot.
This makes 2 times now since I've been watching that Damian was wrong. He should listen to Mr. Hero more. LOL. I'll take that. In 16 years, only being wrong twice? Mark, you're exactly right. And by the way, I want to make one thing crystal clear. I never said anybody told me CM Punk was coming back last week. In the last 2 weeks, I've talked about it. I simply said I thought he was.
Oh my gosh, really?
I said I thought he was.
You're gonna be that guy?
I
just own it.
No, I do completely own it that I did think up until Monday night that CM Punk would return on Raw. Mm-hmm. Not because of what anyone told me, not because of what anyone said or did,
but
what
you felt in your heart.
If he were to, he would have, and he did not. So, by the way, them boots that they make for walking, CM Punk's wearing them, and he walked all over you.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No, he just doesn't care about anybody. He didn't walk over anybody. He no-showed.
He didn't know. Well,
he did.
I don't want to get into that, because tomorrow night on primetime, guess what we're doing, David Hero? We are closing the door on CM Punk.
What?
Yeah, we're done. Done talking about him. We're going to close the door.
He's the savior.
We're going to finish it out.
Everybody out there.
Well, you have taken his role as the voice of the voiceless, from what I understand.
I am the voice of the voiceless.
So we're going to close the door on CM Punk.
Okay, I look forward to this.
Tomorrow night's big story.
Thank God.
So you finally get your way again. You get to sit here and we don't get to. Maybe we're gonna leave the door cracked.
Am I right? But I'm happy.
Next comment comes from Trencher1375. This on last Saturday's primetime as well. That says, I totally agree that Bryan needs to
Daniel Bryan again.
Yes, needs to defeat Triple H at WrestleMania, and that is much more important than being champion. But I got to admit that I, too, am one of those fans that don't think Daniel Bryan will win. I also agree that Batista and Orton should have their match, and fans need to stop whining about it.
Well, they are going to have their match. It's not going to be a three-way. And Triple H, if he does not put over Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania...
Well, you know he never puts anybody over.
He does put over people at WrestleMania.
No, not if you listen to the audience.
He will defeat Daniel Bryan, or Daniel Bryan will defeat Triple H for the 1, 2, 3 at WrestleMania, and then Daniel Bryan will go on to then headline the next pay-per-view and go for the World Heavyweight Championship.
That fast.
So yeah, Daniel Bryan will defeat Triple H. There is no question.
Yes.
You don't think Daniel Bryan has a chance to beat Triple H?
I don't book things. I just observe and analyze.
Well, Daniel Bryan is easily going to beat Triple H because that's what the people want. Listen, they're going to have to wait till WrestleMania to see Daniel Bryan finally get a victory.
Next comment comes from Jacob Tanaguchi.
God bless you. Would you like a tissue?
Who says, and I quote, so, according to Hero, giving the fans what they want isn't important. Yes, because not putting over the most over guy in the company is smart. Are you really telling anyone that the already popular Daniel Bryan winning the strap to cap off WrestleMania 30 wouldn't push him over the final hurdle and make him a true big star?
Sure, but I think Daniel Bryan defeating Triple H at WrestleMania makes him a bigger star. He's defeating Triple H. He is the game. He is, listen, when we were watching Raw, when it was Austin against Vince McMahon, we didn't care if Steve Austin defeated The Rock or Mankind or Undertaker. We wanted to see Steve Austin give Vince McMahon a stunner and beat up his boss. Right? So let Daniel Bryan get the payoff and defeat Triple H.
Next comment comes from Zuri Frazier, who says, if people cheer Punk win or if he comes back, it will just show that the modern day wrestling fans are a bunch of hypocrites. You bash Rock and Batista, but will embrace your internet darlings. To hell with the PG era. This is
Oh, my
the
goodness.
bitch online era. What did Triple H call this era on Raw Monday Night?
The ungrateful era?
Something like that.
Yeah. Well, Triple H is right.
I'm not sure anything more needs to be said other than that comment that and again, those are his words, not Dave's, from YouTube last week.
No, I have my own words. They're all over Twitter. They're all over YouTube. They're all over Facebook. Absolutely.
That is today's edition of Feedback Friday, ladies and gentlemen. As we said, tomorrow night on an all-new edition of PWR Primetime, we go in-depth with Al Snow again.
In-depth.
Looking at lockdown from Miami, Florida.
I'll be there, you know.
And we will also be looking back at all the week's wrestling news and also sharing some information with you on the local events coming to town. And you've got a special extended edition, again, of DWHS.
Oh, I have a lot to say.
It's a 1-hour edition of the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime again tomorrow night right here on PWRshow.com and across all of our media channels. For this one, this is Damian Nelson saying thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow night on Primetime Saturday night.